We're here every Friday, the exact same time. And well, we talk about tons and tons of things. And today I'm very, very excited to present to you Teaching with YouTube, 10 tools and apps to know. Now we have actually 4 or 5 YouTube webinars, so you might want to check them out. One is how to create a YouTube channel to teach with for your learners. We have one in teaching YouTube with very young learners, how to specifically do that. Teaching with YouTube for teenagers and adults, so we have one on that. And then we have some on useful places to find YouTube lessons. Especially for English language teachers. Now there are tons out there, and YouTube is one of those tools that has been in existence for years. But one of the great things about YouTube is it doesn't really get, it's pretty powerful. Our learners, they have about 9 billion views every single day, and the average viewer watches about 5 to 15 minutes of YouTube videos every day. So it's something that's very motivating for your students. A lot of your students will be able to visualize things, and YouTube has gotten smarter, and it's gotten easier and better to teach with. And so I'm going to show you some of those tools today to help you if you love using YouTube, to use it even more. Now, a lot of these things you can find also if you go to this bit.ly address. So I'm going to give you a couple of bit.lys, and these are just short URLs, and these will help you. Now, these are case sensitive, so when you go, but you'll be able to find this. This is my Pinterest of different YouTube tools that you'll find, and then I'll upload the slides as soon as we're finished with the webinar. But there's hundreds, literally hundreds of YouTube games and interaction and apps, and they're all free that you can do today. So one of these things you can, you met your YouTube quota today. But you can see all sorts of things, and you can even get the links to the previous video recordings, the using videos to teach young learners, the ideas for teaching teens and adults, a workshop. You'll be able to see a lesson plan that I did with babies. You'll get the free lesson plan, creating a YouTube channel, okay? So you'll get all the access to that. Now, there are free YouTube lesson sites as well. I'm just going to mention them because I've already talked about them in all the other ones. So it's just basically a brief mention. Now, and this is a picture of my students and us using YouTube. So even when I've only been able to teach with my MacBook, which sometimes is the case, it's very engaging for all my learners. So I can have one laptop in the classroom and still get all my students to pay attention. So YouTube is very good for that. But there's lessonstream.org, absolutely fantastic site to get free PDFs, entire lesson plans that are amazing, and teaching with YouTube. There's Film English that just won an Elton, I believe. So filmenglish.com, they have a few. They have other lesson plans as well, all revolving around showing video clips and films. Designerlessons.org has tons of lessons plans on everything, including YouTube. TESOLcourses.com, quizzes, ways to have self-study and stuff like that for tons of YouTube videos. CullensABCs.com is really good for young learners. It's what I use with my young learners. She has an entire toddler curriculum all based on learning through videos. She has finger plays, all kinds of stuff. And SimpleEnglishVideos.com, which is the newest site from Vicki Hollett, and she's just created all these fantastic videos. She puts them all on YouTube, and then you can see Vicki Hollett as well, which is a very well-known award-winning author and ELT. So those are definitely places you can check out, and you'll get free lesson plans. But for now, we're going to talk about different types of YouTube places and tools that I think are just amazing. Now, I mentioned 10, but there's actually some others I'll be mentioning as well. So we have EnglishCentral.com, which is, first of all, you may have heard of it before, but it's only about the last 2 weeks that they came up with all these incredible updates. It was already a fabulous tool, one of my absolutely favorite free tools for working with language learners, has gotten so much better. Your language learners can test their pronunciation through YouTube videos. So what they do is they can actually speak. And when they speak, their software rates their pronunciation. So it's a great tool for that. It also gives them the transcript, and in each of the things it has a word that pops out, and then it questions them, what does this mean? So it's very intuitive. It's a great way for your learners to extend their learning after being in your class. They get badges and they get points. So it's competing with each other in this language community, and then they're able to be motivated to keep learning that way. So this is a site that I often use with all my language learners, my teenagers, adults, students, so to get them to practice English outside of the classroom. Here, see, California is the land of what and gold rushes. So they listen to this and then they have to type the missing word from that goes on. The other one is n.englishyapper.com. Now, this one is really great. It does have various YouTube videos, like Avril Lavigne, different videos. So you can use this with teenagers and adults once again. It'll give you the transcript. You can click on any word and it activates the dictionary. It gives them words that pop out of the transcript and it tells them what the English is. It gives difficulty ratings, it gives levels, so it helps you practice pronunciation as well. So these two tools are just amazing what they can do, and they're great for motivating self-study. Now the YouTube has gotten an editor, and the editor does so many cool things that you may have not known of. So if you go onto YouTube and you have your YouTube channel, then you can look at the different videos that you have, and you can do cool things with them. You don't even, it even works better than most apps that I know of. You can add Creative Commons videos. You can add other, which is really fantastic if you think that there are video clips out there. There's so many video clips out there that YouTube gives available, and they say, here, you can use it in your own video, just remix it. So I think that's really cool. Another thing that the video editor does is it adds images. You can add different translations like this. You can make a star. So you can make your YouTube videos really incredible, the ones that are already there. So if you think like me, that you've been using YouTube for 10 years or something, and you think, these videos are getting kind of boring or they need updates, well, you can do this all within your YouTube channel. You can even add popular music selections. You can add Avril Lavigne's latest, or you can add Justin Bieber's latest music to get your students interested. You would just click on the Creative Commons and it'll allow you to do that. You can edit your video with bottom row options as well. So you can cut it, you can extend it, you can put really cool filters, and I'll show you how to do that. But you use the tools at the bottom. So when you open up your video, so you can see me and I have my video there, you can add, here's all the ways that you can interact with your own video. So you can add different colors. You can make it into a cartoon. So this is a really cool tool, because when your students are making regular videos, you can have a lesson where you can say, hey, we're going to create a cartoon about your life. And all they have to do is click on the cartoon filter, and it makes their life into a cartoon. So it's very, very cool. They can do other filters as well. They can make it look into 1920s movie. They can make it look like a futuristic movie, because they just have to click any of those filters. It's very easy for them to do. They can create a slow motion film. What they do is they just make it, they can slow the timing, and they can make a black and white film. It's great for making silent movies. So you can have the students go up and then they can add actual slides with text, and it becomes a silent film. So there are great ways to use this YouTube editor to do some very cool things. You can add audio to it. You can fix the audio. So here, when you click on audio, you get the featured tracks. You get Charles Garden, Heart Number One, Chicken Music, all kinds of free music to add to it. You can add speech bubbles, you can add notes, you can add titles, spotlights, labels, you name it. What do you mean by a title or spotlight? Well, I'm going to show you what that cool feature allows you to do. What it means is you can interlink videos or add links. So in other words, if you wanted to do something like, let's say you wanted to do, and they have these out there, where you can have your students click on an answer. So you can actually put on your thing A, B, and C. Let's say you're doing a quick video and you say, okay, what is this idiom? Head over heels. Okay, so we're studying the idiom head over heels. Head over heels is A. And if they click on A, you can lead them to another video that says, yes, you got the answer right. So that's one of the great things about YouTube. You can do a choose your own adventure. So let's say you begin a story. Your students can make a YouTube story video. They can use it with like puppets or something, and then they can put A, B, or C, and they can do choose your own adventure, and then it takes them to another adventure. So there's so many cool things that you can do with this. Here, I'm interlinking my 30 goals video. So I have all these 30 goals videos where I say the videos, and now I interlink them to each other. So the person can go to the next goal, or the person can go to all of the goals. There are other things that you can do. You can have them make decisions, see the consequences. This is one of the ones that I've seen that is fantastic for it, which is that's not called the break-in. So what they do is they give these break-in stories where to teach kids digital literacy. So what they do is they say, it shows them, and this is about a boy, and he sees his girlfriend's Facebook picture, and her Facebook, she's talking to another guy, and so he says, what should I do? Should I break into her page when she's not around? Should I hire a private detective, or should I ask her? And then the student chooses which one, because they interlink with the way that I showed you, the spotlight, and then it gives them the answer. It says, answer C. Well, this is what happened when I chose answer C. So it's really great the way that YouTube does this. The choose your own adventure, here's a choose your own adventure song, so you can get an example of it. It talks about a haircut, and the person sings this funny song about a haircut, puts cartoons, and asks you, should I cut my hair or should I grow it? And then when you cut it or you grow it, it goes into the consequences of what happened as a result of not cutting your hair, or a result of cutting your hair. So it's a great way. You can play games on YouTube. There's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You can even make your own game. So you can make your own YouTube Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for your class, to review a test, to review the final exam. Instead of your students taking a final exam, they can do this. They're still answering questions, but it's a fun way. It seems like a game, and they can have other things. You can have other students be the lifelines and things like that. So it's really cool. Your YouTube videos come with transcripts automatically. So when you upload a YouTube video, you may not know this, but all the videos you've uploaded have a transcript. You just click this little box in the bottom. Every YouTube video has one now. So any type of YouTube video you use has a transcript. If you're teaching a song, then you can look up the transcript. That's going to have the lyrics and all that. Now, the trick is this. They did it because, of course, to make it more friendly for that it's disabled access friendly. So that's why they did this. But it's not always accurate, as I have found, because I was using a video recently on Smash Mouth. There's a parody of Smash Mouth, how to make a video go viral. And so I had to fix a lot of it. If you have to fix a lot of it, that's okay. I'm going to show you a site that will help you with that, and that'll help your learners go and fix it, okay? But before we do that, there's other YouTube, all of this is within the YouTube site. So all of these you can find within YouTube, and then I'll show you tools outside of YouTube. So YouTube EDU, if you want to teach and you think, oh, the comments and all of that, they just make it to where I can't teach. Well, I'm going to show you some websites for that, but as well, you can go to YouTube EDU, and they have specific videos and things like that that have been recommended by educators that is supposed to do away with all those comments and things like that that are terrible. So YouTube EDU will help you. They'll give you lesson plans. They'll give you great videos. YouTube for Teachers is another way. They help you set up a YouTube channel and things like that. There are a few places you can go to safely share YouTube. There is SafeShare TV. Thanks, Peggy, for putting up the link. So you can go to SafeShareTV.tv and you will take away any of those horrible YouTube comments. But another way is nicertube.com. And nicertube.com is a tool that I just recently found out about, I think a month or two ago. Now, I prefer this one. It does like SaferTube, except you can add a cool background. So it's even more fun for your students because your students can see like a happy birthday theme. They can see balloons in the back. You choose out of all these cool themes. You just cut and paste any YouTube videos. And you can even have a background color. You can add cartoons. I mean, so it has a fun design you can add. It's up to you. Blubber. So this is, now I'm going to talk about different YouTube videos that are much better, I think, than you might, that are outside of YouTube. And these are very, very cool. And one of these is Blubber. Blubber TV is one of the best things that I have found for YouTube, and I think you'll be really excited about what Blubber TV can do, because you can create interactive YouTube quizzes. You just go to the site, you enter the URL of the YouTube video, and then you make an interactive quiz. So after 20 seconds, you have 15 and 20 seconds, and then you enter a question for your students to answer. And so here they're talking about an interview. So the teacher has shown an interview. And after the interview, in the 16 seconds, she says, in the first few seconds, what two things did she do wrong? So she's having her question, her students answer, observe what's going on inside the YouTube video, and answer what did she do wrong in this interview. So there are different things. You can have them do that. You can play a silent film, and then you can say, in the, in the first few seconds, what did you know about the context? Where are they? What is the setting? What, where do these animals live? You can ask anything you want to with the YouTube video. You can use CaptionTube. CaptionTube is a great tool for teachers. All of these are free, by the way. And CaptionTube will allow you to add speeches to videos. So one of my favorite lesson plans that I do is I use the very, very popular baby one. There's the Talking Twin Babies, and I do this for a lot of workshops where they go da da da, and then the other baby goes da 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 da. So I have students go and they make the transcript. What are the babies saying to each other? What is the conversation? So it's a great way to get students to learn English, and they get very excited about it. So we use CaptionTube, and CaptionTube will play their different captions. So we can watch each other's videos after, and then we can laugh at them and give comments and feedback. So here, this one I added, hey bro, why did you fart on my toy? But students can add any kind that they want. Video Notes is this new tool that came out this year that's absolutely incredible. It's great for students. So the students can take notes while viewing any YouTube video. So let's say you're having them do the Randy Posh speech. Let's say that you're having them look at Steve Jobs' commencement speech. You can, thanks Peggy, I know, I get so excited with all these YouTube tools they have that are free that are awesome. You can take notes while viewing, so you have video notes here. And your student, what they do is it integrates with their Google Drive as well. So if they have a Google Drive, it'll save you notes. But it highlights during the video what is being said. So if your student can actually click on, if they're running behind, it's okay. So what it does is as soon as you click back and you're still typing your note, it'll jump to the next round when you type. It's so good. It's such a great tool for your students to be able to study anything. You can record your lectures. You can put your lectures on YouTube, and this is a great way for them to take notes and listen to your lecture. And they can even put questions on there. They can have questions that they want to ask you. So if you do a lot of Oh, and Peggy George even says something even cooler about it. That video notes, can it be embedded in live binders with the note? Yes, it can be actually. What it does is it drives, it goes to Google Drive, so they'll save it on your Google Drive. So if you have a Google Docs and Drive, then as long as you make it public, then it'll show under the document. And that's the way I actually corrected the lyrics. So one of the assignments I did was correct the lyrics on a YouTube video of that you like. Students can go back and they can make sure it's the right word. So if you're trying to do things where you're getting them to adapt listening skills and you want them to correct some lyrics that you're going to be teaching within the year, well, this is a good activity to do, because if you're like me at the beginning of the year, you have all these lyrics and then you want the transcripts, but it takes forever to do. You can assign one to each student, and then they can go and they can correct the lyrics on the transcript. It's a great listening activity, but it helps save you time too. There are a lot of really cool YouTube apps out there as well. And of course, I wouldn't, so if you happen to teach with a mobile device, you may not know about these really cool apps. They help me personally, but they help to also manage your classroom. Now, these are all free, but one of the ones that I found out about that I really love is this one called Look Away. And the thing that Look Away does is Look Away will actually pause your YouTube video when your eyes are not looking at it. So there's a very cool app to do this. It's really helpful for me personally when I cook using YouTube. So I watch these 5-minute videos and I'm constantly preparing the recipe, looking at what they do, because a lot of times I don't understand the recipe books. I can't understand like when they say dice or something like that, and I'm like, what? I'm not a chef, I don't know. So I look at the YouTube videos and I look around, and then it stops. So as soon as when I go to cook something, it stops. For your students, like Peggy says, if you have a bunch of students and they're looking at their mobile device, they have to have an iOS one though. It has to be an iPhone or an iPad mini or an iPad. So when they're looking at it, if they doze off, then it's going to stop. They won't be able to finish the video. So the only way they can finish that video is if they are looking at the video. If you want it to be muted, all you got to do is say shh, and it's going to shush it. So if you're teaching and you even have it plugged into your iPad, it's a great app to do that as well, because you can mute it at different times as well. If you're trying to do an activity where you're showing the video and then you want to silence it because you're trying to get them to look at the actions and you're trying to get them to look at the nonverbal and ask them, what do you think they're saying? Then it's a good way to do that as well. You can create playlists easily if you use something called PlayTube. Now, PlayTube is on iOS and Android. And the reason why I put this is because a lot of times as teachers, we may have a playlist of videos we want our students to have that are specifically for our class. So one of the things you can do is right away you can get your students to create a playlist that's just for your class. And what you do is you have them after each class add the YouTube video that you taught with. Now this is good because if you use something like this, I think on some of them, I'm not sure, it used to have the ability where they could download this offline. So on their device, they could go back and they could keep referencing this video. The other great thing, so if your students don't have an internet connection outside the class or anything like that, they should be able to still watch that playlist. The other great thing about it is that there's still they're still doing these things where you can, with the playlist, it takes away all the negative kind of comments and things like that. You can watch these videos later, and you can add your favorites, you can have subscriptions, so you can have all of these English language ones that they create. I have my students create one on idioms. I have them create one on whatever the culture is. So I was teaching German students. They had one where it's German American culture videos. They have one on using how to learn English. I mean, there's different types of videos. They had one on screen tutorials that I created. I created one for English Central. It's outdated though, but yeah, it's one of those video tutorials I created. So you can create playlists easily and do so much with playlists. There's the Together Learn iPad free app. So if you're teaching just 10 students or less, or maybe if you want your students to go and study a video, Together Learn is a free iPad app. You can have 7 on the video, watch videos together, and they can highlight and draw. So they can watch like a TED Talk or something. They can circle around the TED. They can include notes. And it's all absolutely free. All of them can draw, all of them can talk, all of them can get together with their video. They can do a video conference of the video, so they can be in there and they can communicate and they can talk about the video. Oh, I really like Justin Bieber's new video. This is what we can learn from it. I learned the expression. Oh, Judy, what does this expression mean? What does he mean when he says blah, 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 so they can have a discussion about it. What I do is I embed all of these on a wiki or blog. Now this one is my .english.wikispaces.com, so you can have an idea of how I integrated. This is for adults that I used it with, adult English language learners in Germany. And I embedded, I also have one for the kids, so you can see where I embed videos in my English story time. I don't know if I included that. I'll see if I included a site. But I can ask them videos from there. I have them take dictation exercises. I can have them answer one of those. And these are all things that I get them to do. These are their missions to do outside of class, so they can continue to use YouTube as a way to practice English. You can see here the different categories I have: business meeting, current events, podcast, free lessons, goal setting. And then of course you can go to the YouTube site, the bit.ly.youtube tools, and you'll find lots of these tools and lots of the really cool games that I have found on YouTube. And thank you. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that it gave you a lot of cool ideas and you walked away with some new ways to teach with YouTube. And you can always visit my site, or you can ask me questions later. You can go to the bit.ly ELT links, and when you go to the bit.ly ELT links, you'll be able to download your certificate and get access to all of these resources. Just go to 2013 resources and you'll see it'll say YouTube. So thank you so much, and I hope you will join